Chris Bailey, also known as Rovo, and I'm from upstate New York, and I've been spinning poi for 5 years. I had some friends that were into the like rave dance scene and all that. They would spin glow sticks on strings, and I thought it looked really cool. Kind of started messing around with it a little bit. One day went online, discovered poi spinning, and from there it just took off to be my personal hobby that I was into. I consider myself to kind of be like a child of the internet poi community. I didn't have any spinners around me to learn from. I joined websites and used their online tutorials to teach myself everything that I know. And a lot of people say, oh, you look like you're having so much fun when you spin, and yeah, I do, so I'm glad that that shows. This right here is a counterweighted poi, and what that means is that there's a little weight attached to the handle end, so I think these are about a 3-to-1 ratio, head to handle, and what this does, it allows for when you do throws and other contact moves, for the poi to stay rigid and not be like all flaccid and limp like a normal sock would. I kind of picked up this style maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. I was just kind of surfing around, and like these things called wibbles by this guy Matt Terry kind of came into play. And it's like this whole idea of like not holding on to the poi and doing a move. Manipulating the poi without your hands. And I thought that was so cool, so I kind of like really got into it. And it's kind of died off over the past few years, but I hope, coming to LA and teaching workshops, I can get a couple people in more, a couple more people into it. And, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. It's less for fire though, and more kind of for your own enjoyment, or kind of like a juggling style of poi, as opposed to, straight spinning and dancing. Well, fire spinning now, it's like an everyday thing. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm not nervous anymore, nor do I really get that adrenaline rush when I spin that so many first-time spinners, they're like, wow, oh, that's amazing, and they're so pumped up, but it's really just more of a performance tool now, a different medium of expression than daylight spinning. If you go back, say 5 years to when I first started, there was a lot less moves and variations on movements with poi. And I would say because of the internet spinning community, there's been this crazy growth in knowledge over the past 5 years, where say a guy in Australia has a set of moves, or like a group of people there, and people on the West Coast have a set of moves, and people in England and whatnot, and they've all gone online and shared their different ideas. This has allowed all these spinners from around the world to work on their concepts and increase the overall amount of knowledge, because instead of having a small isolated group of people working on moves, you have a worldwide community all processing this information and kind of just adding to the collective knowledge. So as far as growth and everything, I'd say due to the internet mainly, poi has had an explosion in the amount of people doing it, the amount of moves, the amount of interest even is very, very much attributed to online forums and what. Spinners that I have met, I think it's a very, very diverse range. I've met people that don't have jobs and just travel around and spin fire, and that's all they really do, to people that are doctors and lawyers and really professional folks that also are engaged in this art form and love it just as much as the people that are trying to do it full time and whatnot. It's really refreshing to see so many diverse groups of people with so many varying interests come together for this one art. Like leave all their prejudice and whatnot behind to have a good time and share their knowledge with each other. Seeing other spinners that are seriously making a living doing this, like it's been very inspiring to me. Like I can do that too, especially because I have a place that has zero competition. I just got to learn how to market myself right, and I think I could do this for a living, and that's kind of my plan for the summer if I can pull it off at least. We know you're all robots, and we don't care. What? I don't know.